News. President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria will continue to assert its position as giant of Africa by adopting new technology, innovative ideas and knowledge-based opportunities to drive developmental processes. The president made the commitment at the inauguration of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex, BATIC, in Abuja. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports.
The Nigeria Immigration Service headquarters houses this complex, coming as a source of pride for Nigeria in the League of Nations with advanced technology. The multi-purpose center is set to transform experiences of international travelers from and into Nigeria. It is named the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex, BATIC. Just as it promises to be a game changer in visa application, passport processing, data capturing and information storage for security-related agencies, it also projects a sense of fulfillment for the man widely known as an innovative leader.
We believe that if we rejig our immigration, our air travel, we will benefit tremendously from economic opportunity it offers. Ease of entry, ease of exit. What you have achieved on passport alone, internationally, you have given this country a great reputation.
Now, the dream of barely a year ago coming into fruition, President Bola Tinubu acknowledges the benefit of a center for both the economy and security of the country.
I could see everything working together for the benefit of the country. Our Visa Approval Center will provide a one-stop shop for visa applications. What more? Nigeria and visitors can travel with ease, do business partnership with ease, and live honestly among each other, like I always say.
The president also lauded the collaboration demonstrated by relevant players in the actualization of a project. In Abuja, Musbau Danwahab, NTA News.
And from the Red Chamber, Senate is proposing amendment to the Raw Materials Development Council Act to promote at least 30% local processing of raw materials before export. The amendment bill, sponsored by the Deputy Majority Whip Peter Weboing, aims at enhancing innovation within local industries, job creation, and reducing dependence on imports. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali brings us details.
Leading debate on general principles of the Raw Materials Development Council Act Amendment Bill, Senator Weboing described the proposed legislation as a transformative initiative to drive economic growth.
This bill, if enacted into law, will regulate importation of raw materials readily available for local production.
There is need for us to strengthen our exports to attain a $1 trillion economy.
Several industries will emerge because it will now be mandatory that you don't engage this lazy attitude of taking raw materials outside the shores of this country. That this raw material must be processed here.
Senate passed the bill at second reading, including bill seeking the establishment of the Federal University of Science and Technology, Correctional, in Bayelsa State. Senators also passed the bill to establish a Federal University of Mining and Geosciences in Jos Plateau State.
To provide the educational infrastructure, balancing access to education and technology.
God has blessed us with mineral resources so that the exploration, exploitation, and mining of minerals will be done by Nigerians themselves.
And congratulate all Nigerians that yes, indeed, we will now have value addition, and then we will now focus more on mining as a major revenue source for the country.
6 bills passed first reading, among them bills seeking domestication and enforcement of African Union Convention for protection and assistance to internally displaced persons. Meanwhile, Senate has received communications from President Tinubu seeking confirmation of appointees for Southeast and Northwest Development Commissions. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Talking health, in the wake of fresh global concerns about the XEC COVID-19 variant, the House of Representatives has passed a resolution urging the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, as well as relevant agencies, to step up surveillance at all borders and ports of entry into the country. This followed a motion of urgent public importance on the floor of the House. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikben reports.
Lawmakers note that the spread of the latest COVID-19 variant across 43 countries of the world is a pointer to Nigeria's vulnerability. They want the port health authorities to intensify screening of inbound passengers and take all precautions to safeguard the nation's public health.
To mitigate its spread, Nigeria must promptly assess the variant's potential impacts and implement effective countermeasures.
The House sought investigation of compliance with safety standards in gas flaring operations.
Urge the Federal Ministry of Environment to assess the environmental and health impact of gas flaring in oil-producing areas and recommend appropriate remediation.
This is another source of revenue where countries are making billions and trillions from gas. Yet in Nigeria we are flaring gas to the detriment of human lives.
The House also called for regulation of standards in the development of managerial manpower.
All ministries, departments, and agencies of government should include the registration certificate of the Center for Management Development, CMD, as part of pre-qualification criteria for eligibility on any management consultancy and training projects.
Lawmakers urged the FCT Police Command to carry out a 3-month awareness campaign before enforcing the ban on tinted windscreens and covered number plates in the Federal Capital Territory.
Urge the FCT Police Command to immediately halt the indiscriminate harassment of motorists and to release vehicles that have been impounded solely for violations related to tinted glasses and covered number plates.
The defection of another Labour Party lawmaker, Delop, from Plateau State to the All Progressives Congress comes with some resistance from the minority caucus.
Resign formally your membership of your party, go to your ward and apply to be a member of the new party you want to join. And then you can write to this House showing evidence of your membership of your new party.
There are provisions and procedures for you to show your concern. So your point of order is ruled out of order.
From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
In other news, Vice President Kashim Shettima has described former Defense Minister Lieutenant General Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma as a hero who shaped Nigeria's complex political and social landscapes through decades of dedicated service. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that the Vice President stated this at the 87th birthday celebration of Lieutenant General T.Y. Danjuma in Lagos. The Vice President pointed out that the celebrant's decisive roles during Nigeria's most challenging periods, particularly his efforts in preserving the nation's unity and humanitarian services, are commendable.
On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and our team, to show our support to you. We wish you well, sir. Today, we honor not just years you have lived, but the life you have touched, the stability you have fostered, and the hope you continue to inspire in others. On behalf of a grateful nation, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who specifically directed me that you must fly to Lagos and honor this elder statesman. A rare breed. Your lives appear only once in every generation. Your life story is the life story of the Nigerian nation.
Thank you very much. I am very grateful to you. And the encomium report of me, your speech, I thank you. I thank you very, very much indeed. Please convey my thanks also to Mr. President.
And I am very grateful. And I thank every one of you that have come with him to celebrate with my dear husband. And I'm sure we will do 88, 89.
The Danjuma family appreciated the Vice President for honoring their invitation. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says winning the fight against tuberculosis requires sustained investment, strategic collaboration and innovative strategies. She said this at the opening ceremony of the National Tuberculosis Conference 2024 in Abuja, where she also inaugurated TB Lamp, a manual molecular test tool to aid rapid diagnosis and case finding. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Despite recent progress made by Nigeria in the campaign against tuberculosis, the disease is still the leading cause of death, with about 467,000 cases reported in 2023. Gathered in this hall for the National Tuberculosis Conference 2024 are health workers, community leaders, policy implementers, and development partners who are pitting their expertise and resources against this scourge. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is the global and national Stop TB champion, and she joins them in the trenches as the conference explores ways to ramp up access to screening for tuberculosis by promoting effective public-private partnership and integrated service delivery.
To achieve this, we will require sustained investment, innovative strategies, and a renewed focus on breaking the barriers that prevent people from accessing the care and support that they desperately need. As the global and national Stop TB champion, I'm committed to a collective fight against TB. I believe that the solution to ending TB lies in the strength of our partnerships, both public and private, and in integrated delivery of services that leave no one behind.
Even as she inaugurates TB Lamp, a rapid diagnostic tool for tuberculosis procured with a donation to the Stop TB Partnership, the First Lady is upbeat about the priority attention the disease is receiving from the current administration.
Thanks to the commitment of the Tinubu administration, civil society organizations, healthcare providers, and international partners. Subsequently, we have seen a steady increase in the number of people diagnosed and treated for TB. This conference provides us with a platform not only to share experiences and knowledge, but also to recommit ourselves to the common goal of ending TB. The discussions and partnerships and the strategies that will emerge from this conference will serve as the foundation for the actions we must take in the coming years.
And you have the incredible political commitment, and you have all of you. What is needed are an increase on the financing. That this is the only, bottleneck to really see an end of TB in Nigeria ahead of all other countries.
The goal of the conference is to make tuberculosis a disease of the past. In Abuja, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, has reiterated Nigeria's unwavering commitment to strengthen its health sector and combating HIV. Speaking at the US-Nigeria HIV Sustainability Meeting held in Abuja, Professor Pate highlighted President Bola Tinubu's prioritization of healthcare to Nigeria's development agenda, acknowledging the role of the PEPFAR program for its support in addressing critical health challenges. He assured the U.S. delegation that the government will sustain its gains, particularly in HIV treatment and prevention, as Nigeria is in cups of significant health sector transformation.
Nigeria has not had it this high in terms of intentionality regarding transformation of Nigeria's health sector. And the President unveiled the Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative, and over the last 1 year, the sector-wide approach has taken hold with all the state governors in trying to expand primary healthcare services, but also with a view to improving population health outcomes across key areas where we had perceived a gap between performance, but also where we are.
The outcome of this, what we consider success at the top of the hour, will be a common understanding of how we approach sustainability in Nigeria's HIV program, which we are a proud partner as PEPFAR. Nigeria matters to us for several reasons. It's the largest populated country in Africa, and public health matters. It's about population.
This is the Network News on NTA. Let's take a break. More reports when we return.
Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, FNIPR, cordially invites Commissioners of Information and Orientation and Strategy, Permanent Secretaries, stakeholders in the information sector, public communication managers,
in the takeoff and in the main campus of the institution, as already exams has kick-started since last week, and that goes contrary to the earlier Facebook post on social media. The university is actively on examination period, which takes place in the takeoff campus of the university and in Isa Keita College of Education, all in Dusama town. The university is investigating the origin of the report and urging the general public to disregard any unverified information, adding that the fuel tanker picture containing some people are not students of Federal University Dusama, as the university has made arrangements of buses to convey students to their examination venue and to also return them to their places of residence. NAMSA Management.
You're still watching the Network News on NTA. International Human Rights Day has been observed today globally. The day seeks to promote and educate people on the importance of their rights as enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Omen Kamarachuku brings us details.
The International Human Rights Day is observed annually on 10th December. This day commemorates the anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on December 10, 1948. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a landmark document which enshrines the inalienable rights that everyone is entitled as a human being, regardless of race, color, or religion. Recognizing the importance of the day, the National Human Rights Commission is putting an awareness campaign on the streets of Abuja to create awareness on its mandate in promoting human rights of Nigerians.
A concern to the Commission, just as all the other rights, but particularly that of children, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. The right to education, we believe that should be expounded very, very seriously.
As long as there are human beings living in society, there will be violation of rights. But the important thing is, government has also provided a place you can go to complain if your rights is violated.
Each year, the International Day of Human Rights is celebrated with a specific theme. For 2024, the theme is Our Rights, Our Future, Right Now. This theme emphasizes the importance of human rights in shaping our future and promoting a better world for all. Umenka Marchuku, NTA News.
To tax matters, experts have continued to deliberate on some of the benefits Nigerians stand to gain in the ongoing tax reform bills that meet international best practices. This was at the Tax Justice and Governance Platform 2024 conference in Abuja. Boside Abel Amosu brings us details.
The ongoing tax reform bills have become a topic of discussion in Nigeria, generating interests and concerns among various stakeholders. Now, the focus is the benefits and equity the reform bills will play in stabilizing the economy and ease the burden of tax on small businesses to thrive.
We cannot continue to punish production. We cannot continue to be in the way of productivity and then magically hope that our country will be one of the greatest in the world.
These policymakers, stakeholders and experts believe Nigeria is due for a reform of its tax system, since the reform bills hold the potential to transform Nigeria's fiscal framework by consolidating legal provisions, enhancing tax administration and promoting economic transparency.
And we must make sure that these taxes are used for development and for the benefit of Nigerian people, not for some people to corner it and be stealing it.
But not just taxation, but linking tax to services, public service delivery.
The theme, economic stabilization for equity, ensuring fairness in tax policy. These tax administrators say is apt as advocacy will further identify loopholes and achieve a tax system that is effective with contemporary fiscal governance policies, revenue transformation, and economic growth. In Abuja, Bosede Abul Amosu, NTA News.
Away from taxation, Borno State government has expressed commitment to making the state a hub for skilled artisans capable of not only meeting domestic needs, but transfer their knowledge to other parts of the country. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum stated this during the inauguration of Government Day Secondary School, Mary, performed by the World Bank Country Director. Mohamed Goni reports.
Standing on what used to be Old Bama Motor Park, Government Secondary School Mairi is a 60-classroom mega school equipped with laboratories and ICT center, among other basic teaching and learning facilities designed to accommodate 3,000 students. Other schools inaugurated by the World Bank Country Director also include Government Day Junior Secondary School Molei and Government Day Secondary School Gala Mairi, built also with the support of the World Bank Agile Project. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum highlighted the devastation caused by the Boko Haram insurgency and noted that the state government has built 104 schools and equipped same with basic teaching and learning facilities.
We have established 5 vocational enterprise institutes, 2 second chance women's to girls skills entrepreneurship schools, and reactivated 9 existing vocational training centers. Our goal is to train approximately 5,000 artisans annually.
He said the state authorities prioritize technical and vocational education as part of efforts to provide means of livelihood to the youth.
You are creating a conducive learning environment, safe spaces for children, and you are encouraging children and adolescents to also aim high. The sky is the limit indeed.
The World Bank's country director advised parents and students to take advantage of the efforts of the state government geared towards promoting education, assuring continued support of the World Bank to the state. Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lan Abawo Kilbe, highlighted Zulum's commitment to the education sector, citing consistent allocation of up to 30% of the state's annual budget to education, thereby prioritizing human capital development. In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTA.
There is no attempt by President Bola Tinubu through his policies and programs to put any part of the country to a disadvantaged position. This is the assurance from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, when he received the management of the Progressives Institute. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
There is a unanimous decision here that in less than 2 years, the government courage through reforms towards building a country for future generations is yielding results. As the custodian of the Renewed Hope agenda, the government image maker promised to sustain tempo in communicating in order to promote healthy debates on government policies as a way of promoting participatory democracy.
There is nowhere in the world where reforms are just being accepted and clapped for. Reforms are usually tough, they are usually hard, but once they are followed through, they deliver extraordinary results. And we know that the direction that this government is going We are extremely confident that all the reform processes that Mr. President has instituted will take us to desired destination. In the last few decades, leaders have tried to shy away from taking very bold and courageous decisions. The issue of, for example, the fuel subsidy removal, the unification of our currency, are all disruptive to the system that many Nigerians are used to. But these disruptions are necessary so that Nigeria can be reset.
And that is why we're having this conference coming up next week. It is a national conference on vocational skill acquisition, entrepreneurship, and challenges of national development. Its focus is to examine the trajectory of where we are coming from.
Established as a think tank of the governing All Progressives Congress, the Progressive Institute is, among others, saddled with the task of building initiatives that will strengthen the party, ensure proper implementation of the APC manifestos. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
A bit from the Judiciary, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory has refused the bail application of the former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, saying it was filed prematurely. Justice Mary Ann Aneni, while delivering the ruling, averred that having been filed when the first defendant was neither in custody nor before the court, rendered the application incompetent and ordered that it should be remanded in Kuje Correctional Center till January 29, 2025. Judiciary correspondent Austin Aebe reports.
Arguing the bail application on the 27th November 2024, the former governor, through his counsel Joseph Daudu, senior advocate of Nigeria, said he became aware of the instant charge through the public summons, that he is a two-term governor of Kogi State. If released on bail, he will not interfere with the investigation or jump bail, urging the court to exercise its discretion judicially to grant him bail. Opposing the application, the prosecution counsel Kemi Pinero, senior advocate of Nigeria, had argued that the instant application was grossly incompetent, having been filed before arraignment. Delivering the ruling, Justice Marian Aneni said the instant application for bail showed that it was filed on the 22nd of November, several days before the first defendant was taken into custody. Citing Section 158 of Administration of Criminal Justice Act, the judge said the provision provided that a bail application could be made when a defendant had been arrested, detained, arraigned, or brought before the court. But in the instant case, Bello had filed an application for his bail on 22nd November, but was taken into custody on 26th November and arraigned on 27th November 2024. The court, in determining the other applications, however, granted the two other defendants, Umar Shaibu and Absalami Hudu, bail. They were granted bail with a sum of 300 million naira to sureties who have landed properties in Mitama district in Abuja. From the FCT High Court, Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
To Religious Affairs, the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs has appointed and unveiled 5 new imams for the National Mosque. Professor Ishak Oloyede, who briefed the media after the council meeting, says 2 of the volunteering imams are resident in Abuja, while the other 3 are visiting imams, approved to harness and strengthen worship, training, learning, and scholarship. They are Professor Ilyasu Usman from Enugu State, Professor Lukman Zakaria from Osun State, Sheikh Abdulkadir Salman, Kwara State, Barrister Harun Muhammad Eze from Ebonyi State, and Professor Khalid Aliu Abubakar from Plateau State.
The council to appoint more imams, particularly from the southeast, who are worthy in character and scholarship to oversee the spiritual activities of the faithful. Today's press conference, therefore, is a further fulfillment of that promise.
Solo, it is said more imams are being considered for appointments. Now, the Nigerian Immigration Service has set a new benchmark in innovation and security with the unveiling of its state-of-the-art technology and innovation complex. Victor Azur reports on how this groundbreaking move is designed to bolster national security while improving the lives of Nigerians.
The Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology and Innovation Center is more than just a building. It's a bold statement infusing national security strategy with public service excellence. At the heart of this high-tech facility is a command center that redefines border protection. With advanced real-time surveillance and AI-powered analytics, immigration officers can monitor Nigeria's land, air and sea borders like never before, spotting threats and responding with lightning speed.
Train 250 officers. As I speak, we do shift 8 hours, 3 shifts a day, which is 24/7. So there's 24/7 surveillance. And in the last couple of days, about 10 people on the wanted list, Interpol and etc., were apprehended in Nigeria due to this technology.
This program is one of the very contemporary programs you see across the world. IATA is here, and the ICAO has also endorsed this program. In the most advanced borders in the world today, this is what you see.
Describing it as a monumental step forward, the Controller General of Immigration highlights the facility's critical role in transforming both security operations and service delivery.
BATIC will serve as a central hub for our digital infrastructure, dramatically enhancing our surveillance capabilities, streamlining migration management, and strengthening our national security framework.
Codenamed BATIC, this cutting-edge facility houses critical operations, including a command and control center for migration, a visa and passport center, and a national biometric identity hub. Its integrated systems ensure seamless service delivery and enhanced border security. In Abuja, Victor Azur, NTA News.
It's time to head to Lagos for more reports, and Adeola is set. Nice to see you, Adeola.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Strategic development of leadership prowess of personnel of the armed forces is germane to judicious management of logistics during theater of operations. This and the adoption of a joint doctrine to facilitate synergy in military operations are highlighted by the Chief of Special Services and Programs, Army Headquarters, Major General Henry Wesley, at the graduation lecture of Senior Leadership and Staff Officers course 22 to 24 at the Nigeria Army College of Logistics Management, Lagos. Joak Bukbola completes the report.
Logistics management is top priority in the Nigerian Army, and the special guest of honor, Major General Henry Wesley, Chief of Army Special Services and Programs at the headquarters, is here to remind the graduating senior officers of what is expected of them. In a lecture on ethical leadership and effective logistics support in joint military operations, My Perspective, Major General Wesley identified leadership as a major thrust of achieving effective logistics support. Other salient areas include aligning with best practices, especially modernization of its operations.
Codifying regular joint workshops and training to educate personnel on the importance of cohesive doctrine and how it can enhance operational effectiveness will also address the challenge of lack of logistics doctrine.
Major General Wesley notes that the courses are very relevant and are expected to address identified gaps.
It is feedback from the theaters that generated the lessons that are being taught here. So expectedly, if those theories and methods are refined here and they return to the theater, we'll certainly see an impact in the field.
Earlier, the Commandant's Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management, Major General Wisdom Etuk, noted that the college has consistently produced outstanding officers that can compete favorably anywhere in the world. The Senior Leadership Course and Staff Officers Course comprises 105 Nigerian Army officers and an allied officer from the Gambian Armed Forces, while Logistics Management Course consists of 29 Nigerian Army officers and 2 personnel each from the Nigerian Navy and Air Force, as well as an allied student from a Malawian Defense Force. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Lingering issues affecting the implementation of wholesale supply operations in the oil and gas industry are receiving attention as key players seek common grounds at an engagement with regulators in Lagos. The Lagos meeting is a follow-up to the first phase of a Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority.
The Petroleum Industry Act, which came into existence in August 2021, introduced licenses for wholesale supply operations as prescribed in Sections 142 and 197 of the Act, and the appropriate licenses for entities engaged in or wishing to engage in sale and delivery of natural gas and petroleum liquids for domestic use or exports. Wholesale gas and petroleum liquid supply operations marks a significant evolution from the Petroleum Act of 1969 that focused on production and exports only. Compared to the Petroleum Industry Act of 2021, however, there are identified gaps in some of the provisions of the law which stakeholders are demanding a review of.
Actually, some companies have been paying, while others have not. So we're trying to explain to those who have not to see the reason why should pay.
A major issue of contention is the 0.5% taxes and levies provided under Section 47, subsection 2C.
Who is to collect this 0.5% is the question. Okay, is it the customer that will collect it and not do the payment, remit it to the agency? So we're talking about.
We have different views, different interpretations, and I believe over time we'll be able to resolve these, these areas of clarification.
It is expected that all the parties will reach a reasonable conclusion soon to chart a way forward for the growth of the nation's energy sector.
And those are the reports from Lagos. The network news will continue with Elizabeth in Abuja after this break.
As this year draws to a close, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for your continued support. From
Group, let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Thanks for staying with the NTA. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Togar reaffirms the federal government's commitment to finalizing multiple agreements aimed at supporting Nigeria's economic reforms and enhancing relations with Saudi Arabia. This commitment was evident when he held a meeting with the Secretary General of the Arab Africa Bank for Economic Development, who visited from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Garbert Natala brings us details of the meeting.
Support Nigeria's economic reform agenda, Dr. Fatima El-Sheikh, Secretary General of the Arab Africa Bank for Economic Development from Riyadh, visited Nigeria. Following President Bola Tinubu's participation at the joint Arab Islamic Summit in Riyadh, where they met and discussed several issues on the sidelines, all relating to Nigerian economy. Yusuf Tuga notes that diplomatic efforts require patience for positive outcomes.
There were discussions around support for investment, for infrastructure, agriculture, science and innovation.
Given the series of global financial downturns, the minister says it is, however, essential to seek support internationally to complement government's effort in transforming Nigeria's financial landscape as well.
We also had some setbacks like the deleterious operations or effects of cryptocurrency exchanges in Nigeria that were undermining some of the gains. And so forth.
We are led by the national priority, so whatever the government sets as the future priority for the country, we're happy to follow their lead. And particularly in Nigeria, I think infrastructure is a key priority, so we're happy to look at opportunities.
Dr. El-Sheikh is set to meet with Ministers of Finance, Budget and Planning and the Central Bank Governor, among other key stakeholders and institutions, to align Nigeria's economic reform agenda in the right trajectory. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
It's time to talk business, and our busy businessman, Benny Adams, is on set. Benny?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now, enact whistleblower protection laws, enhance audit transparency, and promote value reorientation nationwide are some of the recommendations for transparency and accountability tabled at the Anti-Corruption Actors at the Agora Policy Conversation on the state of anti-corruption policy and practice in Nigeria as part of commemorations of 2024 International Anti-Corruption Day. The actors say some progress has been recorded, but it's important to keep momentum.
The Agora policy plays a pivotal role in shaping Nigeria's policy landscape through rigorous research and advocacy.
So the law that is important is the law we impose on ourselves. It's not the law that is passed by legislation, because laws are good, are useful, but there are many, many more lawbreakers than the law can apprehend.
Now, key players in Nigeria's capital market say more than 2 trillion capital market raised for banks recapitalization is just a tip of the iceberg, as plans are underway to raise 1 million retail investors before the end of the year to double the fortunes of the market for economic growth. This was at a lecture and investiture of new members into the 500 Club of Nigeria's economic think tank under the umbrella of Capital Market Academics of Nigeria.
We have been rated at the beginning of this year, around March, April, at the best in the world. And we are not just relenting. Yes, there is issue of devaluation of our currency. It's not that those shares are not going up. It's not that the corporate organizations are being quoted, they are not bringing good results. But the issue is that when you value our share prices against the dollar, you see, it's not doing right home about. That's why we are trying to encourage most of our citizens of Nigeria to come and invest in the Nigerian capital market. You can't believe it. We have less than 200,000 retail investors out of a population of over 220. So all those statistics that you are seeing, all those trillion that you are seeing in terms of market capitalization, all this index that is going up and down is being done by only less than 0.00001 of the population. As of today, we have tripled what we have started with this year. We are trying to target, by the end of this year, we'll go to at least 1 million retail investors. And I believe going forward, it's going to be increased.
Well, and just talking about the capital market, at the end of today's trading session on the exchange, investors gained 60 billion naira as equities market closed bullish, with all share index up 0.10%. And compared with the previous trading day, today's data shows 115% improvement in volume, but 4% decline in deals. And on the aggregate, 128 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 37 gainers and 21 losers. Well, that is it on business. Network News continues, but after the break, do stay with us.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200, and 500 naira.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
Now this is tomato mix. Even after adding water, you can still taste the tomato flavor.
With Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can cook any of your customers' favorite meals.
No color changing like traffic lights.
Tasty Tom will surely give you value for money, because Tasty Tom tomato mix is thick. A little is enough to get your desired quantity of stew and soup. No unfair deal.
Tasty Tom makes me so happy. The taste is always on point.
And it doesn't color your meat or your chicken.
Because of Tasty Tom tomato mix, the taste of my food never changes. So my customers keep coming.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food, so I buy quality from the onset. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix.
Tasty Tom, for tasty meals good for you. Available in convenient sachets.
NTA Tuesday Live explores critical issues in Nigerian correctional facilities, including congestion, alleged inhuman treatment of inmates, corruption, and systemic challenges. The discussion airing on Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 10:30 p.m. highlights ongoing federal government efforts to address these concerns and enforce compliance with established laws and ethical standards. NTA Tuesday Live, every week at 10:30 p.m. Incisive and educative. Join us.
Sustain. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Shamsuddin Babatunde Ogunjimi as the acting accountant general of the Federation. His appointment takes immediate effect following the incumbent Dr. Toyin Made's pre-retirement leave. A statement by the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says President Tinubu is committed to ensuring a seamless transition in the administration of the nation's treasury and policy reforms. Next, some sporting stories with Badi Adele. Badi, let's hear from you.
Many thanks, Elizabeth. Now, the National Sports Commission has announced the introduction of chief operating officers for national sports federations in the country to help in the area of revenue generation, in line with the new mandate of creating a robust sports economy for the country. Speaking at a meeting, the NSA leadership and presidents of Federation in Abuja, Chairman of the Commission, Shehu Diko, and Director General, Bukola Olokbade, were unanimous in announcing that sports in the country will not be business-driven as obtained in other climes.
Anywhere they are talking about the economy of the country, creating jobs, youth investing, or whatever it is, sports should have a seat on that table if you are doing the right thing, which is basically what we have to do. And we believe if we get it right, we should stop seeing us just we are doing the sports. There are so many valuation industries that we all know that can benefit if we put ourselves together and deliver what we're able to do.
The ability to change failure to success is what makes you different from other people. And this commission, under the leadership of Malam Shehu Diko, is determined to deliver results upon results using very cutting-edge innovation and strategic approach for us to get to El Dorado.
And as a bit on sports, let's now return to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Badi. The death has occurred in Abuja of Madam Samota Agbeke Okuboyi, aged 90. She died peacefully in her sleep on Sunday, 8th of this month. She survived by 5 children, 3 brothers, and many grandchildren, including Aisha Babangida and Razak Tolani Kadara. She was buried at the Good Cemetery in Abuja today. And that's the Network News tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori.